Cannot breathe. Cannot see. Cannot breathe. Cannot breathe. Cannot see. Cannot breathe. Horizon's too high, it's dark on my side. I made my own clouds, flew by my pride. The ship falls away, the night turned to day. Remember why? Fire consumes, ashes remain. Cannot breathe. Cannot see. Cannot breathe. Cannot breathe. Cannot see. Cannot breathe. Cannot breathe. Cannot see. Cannot look in between. I cannot breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between. I cannot breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between. Jag kan inte andas. Spick Span Show!
Hey!
What up?
All right, everybody. Welcome. Hello. How's everybody doing? Let's go down here slightly. See, I made something for us to put. Oh, wait. That helps.
Yeah.
You know, one of these days, we're looking at...
Do I need this light or no?
If you want to. I don't know. We're looking at episode 100, so 40 more episodes that we're going to nail this whole intro, welcome, how's it going, this, that, and the other thing. We're gonna nail it one of these days, and I'm hoping that it's gonna happen in the next 40 weeks.
Fair amount.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
But anyway, welcome to episode number 60. This is going to be an epic episode for several different reasons. We got some great guests on the show. We've got some huge announcements. We've got some giveaways, and we're going to talk about World Cup and how practice went for us, and talk to you guys about how practice went for you. Plus, dropping some new merch. We've got, you guys, most of you have seen the sweatshirt, the Dynasty one. We got a cool new beanie. We got a bunch of cool stuff to announce with Dynasty coming on there too. So,
big thanks to Island Designs.
Big thanks to Island Designs. James from Island Designs hooked it up. We also got some cool new partners that we're going to talk about. We're going to be giving away one of these things on the show here soon.
Everyone on my team said, and they have there's 4. They were like, this is the best one by far.
This has been something that people. No, that's not where you go. That's not where you go. Not on the bone. People have been really into these things, and I've actually always wanted one, and I just.
You were using your sander.
I was using, I was using actually the saw, with the actual saw on it, and I just put duct tape over the end, but I kept cutting myself. So funny. Okay, the Peanut Gallery is here watching. We got a live studio audience today. Yeah. Was that the horse impression? But speaking actually of sound effects, we have an almost infinite library of sound effects that I have now. I have not downloaded any of them, but I put a bunch of them on the like queue. So I've queued them up, and I'm ready for download. So maybe next week we're gonna have like a bunch of hotkeys locked and loaded. Yeah. I've got laughter, crying. I've got somebody opening a thing of cereal and chewing on it. I think I showed that one to you. That one was pretty intense. I really liked that one. And we've got a lot of cool things here that I'm really excited to show to everybody.
Everyday distractions. That's he's got my area code there. 910.
910. Shout out to 910. When are you guys coming to the East Coast? That's Kyle's territory. That's his. My
phone number still starts with 910.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never actually look at your phone number. If I were in big trouble, and I had to use a payphone,
I think I know yours.
I wouldn't call you.
It's 619.
That's just starts when it starts. Yes, that's what it starts with. But actually, funny. One of the things that you get when we're launching a fan club here, a champions club is what it's called, a paintball club that we're gonna announce all the details with here in the next week. But if you join, you get Alex Frage's phone number. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. If you join the highest tier, you get Marcelo's phone number. Marcelo doesn't know that yet, but it's on the ticket.
And his address, everything.
Yeah, you get his address. You get the door code to his house.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is nice.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool. So, shout out to everybody out there, and I see some Europeans staying up late right now. Maku and Mr. Chiel Van Wijk. Sorry about that. And thank you, Jonas. I brought a bunch of the candy out to practice this weekend. We're going to talk about practice, and people were scarfing it down. I also included it in some of the outgoing packages that just went out for some of you guys who are the discounted merch perk and the super mega support status members. You guys did see a cool little deal that I offered to a handful of you guys for some new and used gear. Someone walked away today with a pair of Barytnikov's played-in pants. Those are actually pretty cool. They're kind of like very rare. And then some of you guys got some other cool little things. So that is a pretty cool little perk you get when you jump in there on that side of things. Also, just I was on the YouTube going into the stuff. Just wanted to get you some cool stats because we are going to work with some stats today. We've gotten in the last month just on the show 11,000 views, over 2,000 hours, and one other stat is it's actually just over $4,300 that we've donated to charity. And I mention that because today we are launching the newest site. I've just got a ton of gifts that are going to be going out just for you guys, for your information. A handful of you guys donated some stuff and said, hey, I want to donate this to, can you guys give it away for a charity or this, that, and the other. Some of the things that we had, I just didn't want to sell. We could have given it away, but we do give away a lot of stuff still already. But just to name a few things, IR3 still in the box, brand newish. I think they're still in the box. Anyway, they're really new. Got a first place medal signed 2005 from Oliver Lang. I've got my third place medal from the year after. Didn't win that one. Sorry, Oliver must not have been playing with us. I've got a medium HORMESIS shirt. I've got a small HORMESIS shirt. I've got a HORMESIS button-up shirt, which you could actually cut into probably 10 different headbands. So if you do the math there, that might be the grand prize. We've got an Aloha tank top, Field 1 micro fiber and barrel condom stuff, a signed Dynasty poster, Island Design shirts, a HORMESIS blanket, which is badass.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Wow.
Dynasty jerseys, okay? We've got 5 Dynasty jerseys that I'm going to be giving away. Some of them might say Grayson Gladstone on the back, but it doesn't matter. HK just printed him jerseys for this event, so I decided to toss those things into the giveaway pile. I've got a blank Dynasty jersey from 2019, a 2019 player Dynasty jersey, and then also Island Designs is donating. James from Island Designs came big. I was talking to him yesterday. I have to bring this up here. And he's like, hey, I've got an extra jersey. Do you mind if I throw that into the pile? And I was like, sure. So not only is he donating a shirt and a HORMESIS blanket, but so he's got a Thomas Taylor jersey when Thomas Taylor came out with his first jersey when he was still on excessive. That one's pretty cool. That's not the cream of the crop. He's got a Gary Show's legacy jersey, which another legacy jersey. We've already given one out on this thing, but that one's pretty cool also. He's got a Corey Hall Ironman jersey that's signed, and then an old school original Damage, Tampa Bay Damage shirt that's all signed by the entire original team. So he's sending all that stuff down to be thrown into the pot.
That's really good.
Yeah. It's a
lot of cool stuff there.
There's a lot of cool stuff there. So really, really excited to get that going. So I will share a link with you guys directly, so you can have first crack. The tickets are only going to be $10. All proceeds are going to charity, and we're going to try to ramp those numbers up from over 4K donated to I don't know, maybe 5, 6. Again, whatever we get, and then once we're going to do the donation at the end of the month. So at the end of the month, we're going to announce all the winners, the cash prizes, and I guess the cash prizes go to the charity, but and where we're going to donate them. So we're going to get some of the winners to choose, some of you guys to choose. Maybe we'll do a little poll if you have a charity that you want to do, because I want to make sure it spreads out a little bit, and we help everybody out, as many people as we can at least. So. There, I think that is the announcements. So, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I think you covered it all.
How was practice?
Yeah, that was good. Practice was great for us. We had a really good. We played. Well, I missed my flight on Friday, so I didn't get up there early. But just A-Rod got there Friday. We played Saturday and Sunday against DMG and Excessive.
Mm-hmm. How'd Excessive do? I meant to ask you that.
Excessive is playing a lot better than they were. Mm-hmm. We played them various times. This is probably like the third time we practiced them since the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. And they've gotten much better over time. They're like starting to put things together, play a little more consistent. But I was impressed with them for this weekend versus what they've shown at the beginning of the year. So. Showing some progression there, and yeah, it was the field's intricate in my opinion. There's a lot to it.
There is a lot to it. It's kind of tricky. It's not like were points playing fast for you guys?
It was both. Like
right.
There was there's times where two people get shot off the break, and then there's times where no one gets shot off the break and they go long, or it's super aggressive. So, I mean, that being said, I feel like that goes to show you like how much is still to be learned about the field.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to play you guys as well. I mean, we played Uprising, and they had a great weekend against us, and it was actually a really good weekend. They did a very similar game plan. They kind of varied up where they went on the snake side, but for the most part, on the Dorito side, they did the same thing almost every time. They never really
kind of pocket.
Yeah. They didn't run very far over on that Dorito side very much, and that was kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Because that was frustrating because that's an easier guy to shoot.
Yeah.
Stacking a guy or two in that little blind zone off that Dorito side seems relatively safe, and we were doing that a lot, and we were trying a bunch of different things, obviously, because it was weekend one.
Yeah.
The center was strong, but it's a real big roll of the dice because there's so many different spots and you can't really go in there and get kills.
Yeah.
It's not like the field when you get to someone's side of the field and you can just see a bunch of backs, because where the tower is on the Dorito side, that guy's hard to shoot in the back.
Yeah.
And the Dorito one is also hard to shoot in the back.
That was one thing too. Sorry to cut you off there, but the Dorito one gave me some problems sometimes when I would go on that inside channel of the snake from the big brick. I would go like through the middle or into their brick, or sometimes past the 50-yard line snake into their snake. And if that Dorito one guy, if I missed that shot on him, or he saw me, and maybe even if I picked another guy up, I was almost dead if I didn't get out of that spot or get control of that Dorito one guy, because he was so hard to dig out of those spots, and he had such an advantage shooting me once I crossed that 50-yard line, wherever it was on the snake side.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point, and that's actually something that you guys can work on at home. And as far as like individual drills that you can do is for snake guys to kind of make a move up into that spot and shoot that. For the Dorito guys, kind of jumping across that lane from the Dorito 1 to the Dorito 2, there's that wedge.
Yeah.
It's that first wedge on the Dorito side that you can't see because the pin blocks you out.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get to the Dorito 2, he can see your landing zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are some tricky little spots right there. there. Also, shots off the break. The guy running up to the can in the middle has a great shot.
Oh, yeah, it's a great shot on both sides.
Both sides, you know? So you kind of have to be lucky, or you have to guess correctly for which side you're shooting.
Yeah. Or roll the dice and try to like stack two guys there.
Yeah.
You know, staggered.
Definitely something that I saw a lot, because I glanced over at the Ironmen, and they were playing a semi-pro team called the Hunters, and I watched them play a couple points, and both teams were doing that too. They would stack kind of two guys in that spot, and then shuffle.
But it's like, you know, those if you want to shoot those guys, you can. So it's that's what's cool about, you know, the way the field layouts are being built now is there is really advantageous shots off the break, but you have to pick them, you know, dynamically. Otherwise, if you fall into like if we play you guys and we watch the whole tournament, you double stack the can, it's like
we're gonna shoot that guy.
Yeah. Shoot that guy.
And that was actually a big point of contention for us as far as like kind of figuring out where we wanted to place our shooters, right? Do you try to shoot the outside runners, or do you go for the more guaranteed kill? Like if you see that there's three guys stacked on the box on the outside over there, against Uprising, it was chances are there were two guys in that pocket right there.
Yeah.
They were either running and shooting on both sides. One guy was standing, and then they float across.
Yeah.
But more than likely, there were two guys.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you shoot for an outside runner, or do you go wide and try to shoot that guy? You know? And that was a point of contention, because you don't want a guy in the snake, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to give up that gun, but at the same time, like, the guys standing in the open are much easier to shoot than the dude streaking across, right?
Yeah.
So that's an interesting. It's going to be an interesting read for coaches, players, and also for those of you who are lining up on the box too early and showing exactly what you're going to do. That's going to be a more easy read if you guys are all stacked there like 10 seconds before the point. They're like, all right, they're doing three guys over this way, or you stack a bunch of bodies on the snake side. The other thing is where you put the other shooter. Do you go into that tall cake, because that tall cake does have a really good shot on not on those guys, but in the guy kind of delaying
to the Dorito Tower,
to the Dorito Tower off the break and on the delay. So there's a lot of like, if we play this hand and you play that hand, it's like, no, wait, damn it, like this was a really good play, except it didn't match up against what you guys did.
Yeah.
So we started to like talk about implementing some audibles, but it's so hard to do that because you know. If I said, hey, Kyle, you're going to up the middle and then across to the brick.
Yeah.
Okay? But if there's three guys lined up over here, I want you to do this. And if there's only one guy lined up over here, I want you to go to this spot. Otherwise, do the normal game plan.
Yeah.
So you can it's a read option.
Well, the audibles become so tough in our division.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I always say, it's like double to triple reverse psychology. It's like, if we're doing an audible and then you set up to force us into an audible, then it's like both teams start confusing themselves in their own game plan. So
it is.
It's like when you pull back from that and you go back to the basics and just execute something a little bit better. But that is something, and this is a big thing that Ryan and I try to teach. When we're teaching these divisional teams, is that's when the audibles are going to be like extremely powerful for you guys, because chances are, because most teams that we come to coach, they're like, wait, what? The audible thing is even hard it takes like a few times to teach it. So if you already can start doing that in your divisions, it's going to be extremely powerful for you, because typically the other team shows you what they're going to do in those lower divisions right away, like at 8 seconds. And you can kind of intelligently counteract what they're already showing you. But it's a little bit, definitely a little bit tougher in our division.
It is. And then, what I tell a lot of like the divisional guys, right, is the audible, like if I call out, 3 this way or 2 this way or 1 shooter or 2 shooters, whatever it is, whatever our code is for that. A lot of times that's just for you guys, unless you have like this play set, like you're going to do this, if that. That's the best case scenario. But you can do with that information whatever you choose to.
Sure.
Right? On the Savages, we had a really good call that would like, it was kind of like, this is where the shooters are, so it would release one of my guys.
Yeah.
And Zach was like, all right, if I hear this call, I'm going to make a big bite over on the Dorito side.
Yeah.
Right? And that's gonna allow me to do that. The call just morphed into me just yelling, Zach, Zach, Zach.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like, someone would hear it. And that's another thing, is if you guys are divisional, well, most of you guys who are divisional players that are watching this, or even if you're a pro player watching this, it's really important that when you hear the call or the code from your box, that you repeat it. Don't just assume that everybody heard it, right? Yeah. You're like, okay, Ryan just said Zach's name. Well, it's not my name. Yeah. You know, because a lot of times your guys can't hear the coaches or the calls or whatever it is. So,
or even if you're on the box, you know, and this is typically something that I see a lot, because being the farthest out on the box, I typically can see stuff that the center guys can't. And then I'm like, okay, hey, that guy set up to go do this. He has an inside route, like at the 1-2 second thing, which allows, you know, our middle guys to make a quicker assessment. Like for shooting for that inside snake guy, and then all of a sudden I see his body like slightly angle in. I'm like, he's going to the center, you know, to tell you. And then maybe you're shooting for the God bunker every point, and then you're like, oh, he's going to that, you know, command center spot, and then it allows you to come in. And a lot of times you will hit that guy if you get a good read.
Yeah, and then just kind of like back with that breakdown and that understanding of what's going on. You want to go for the guaranteed kill, right? If you're running to the snake every time, but I know that A-Rod's going to be sitting in a blind spot, this one spot, I'm going to not shoot at you. I'm going to kill A-Rod, because if I can make it a 5-on-4, whether you make it into the snake or not, like,
then you have a 2-on-1 against me.
That or there's just the odds are in our favor right away. Now, if I shoot you and I didn't shoot at A-Rod, then yes, that's the best case scenario. Yeah. But if I can see a guy that sits there, you know, we always used to do that against like Bobby Aviles, Archie, Damian Ryan, especially. Remember when we tried to shoot him when we came up with the Casper call on Dynasty? It was like, for guys that we know are going to be in this pocket or this position, you want to disrupt that player as much as you possibly can.
Sure.
Because now they're like, uh-oh. And this is kind of how the Russians used to play, obviously, when they were at full strength, is they were so good at disrupting everything that it made all of our guys that were comfortable out running and shooting to those interior spots. Now those guys are diving. So that's two less guns that are up. And now their other guys are now able to more freely. And if you watch the Russians, they'll be shooting heavy, 0.1, shooting heavy, 0.2, with every kind of like, the guys are kind of more inclined to like want to make it out. But once they get a couple kills off the break, by the end, when they're kind of in control, you'll see all 5 guys are up and running and shooting.
Yeah.
You know, because you're starting to suppress the other shooters in the interior spots. So you already have the ones on the outside running and shooting, running straight there. Now, if you can start making the 2 guys that were in the interior spots dive into their spots, then you're only playing against a guy that has 1 shooter.
Yeah, and that's like something you have to weigh. You know, going back to like whether or not you shoot A-Rod or you shoot me, you weigh like, is it a one-man show on the snake? If I get to the snake, if Ryan allows me to get to the snake, am I going to be able to just go down on my own and shoot 3 guys, or is there a spot that you guys will be able to hold me up safely, and you go there right off the break, and you're like, Kyle got into the snake, but we shot A-Rod. He's going to crawl right up to the 50 snake, but he can't do anything from there because we're set up. So now that's more advantageous to shoot A-Rod in that situation. But it's like, if I'm able to get to a spot, fine. Like if it's a really hard snake to get to off the break, but once you get in there, you can for sure typically shoot about 3 guys. That's when you have to start weighing, like, maybe we do need to shoot him here. And it doesn't matter if that guy's in that blind spot. So those are, you know, really important things that you have to weigh when you're looking at, you know, which guys you want to take out of the game. So, but besides that, you know, I mean, it's a really well-balanced field. You know, you can go up the middle. There's a lot of options on the snake side, and then there's a lot of options for the shooters. You can shoot, if you want, you can almost shoot every bunker on the field. Yeah. But you have to pick.
You have to pick
what you want, which is just cool. I mean, this is kind of, you know, give or take a little bit more or less. This is kind of how the fields have been designed lately, in my opinion.
Yeah, and, you know, it's going to be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if the field tightens up to a pocket and then really slows down on Sunday. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't. Now, one thing that I do know, and that I do have to everybody out there watching, this is one of the biggest pieces of advice that I can give you as far as it goes for playing conditions and playing to your environment, right? So I think Nick just did a playing to your environment thing for BKI over the weekend, and BKI is going to have their second breakdown uploaded, I believe, with some game plans, like a playbook that you guys can use and utilize at practice this weekend. But what I think is incredibly important that you need to take away is the conditions in Florida are not the conditions that you're playing at unless you're in Florida right now, right? So us playing at Camp Pendleton at Victory Paintball Park, it's like super slick. You can dive. I can dive at that tower and slide directly underneath everything going into that Dorito 1, making it a little bit more makeable.
65 degrees with
It's
nice
perfect.
breeze.
Yeah, exactly. But I know that Dorito 1 is going to be sitting on top of an anthill, on top of a pile of sand with a little bit of crabgrass on each side of it. And it is going to be a very uncomfortable situation to dive into some of those spots, especially on Sunday, right? Because whether it rains or not, I'm really hoping it does not rain, but whether it rains or it does not rain, there's going to be that type of scenario where you're gonna be diving into something that's changing every time that you dive, but it's going to be substantially more sticky, especially by Sunday. So some of those spots that are really makeable at your turfed field are not so makeable once you get to the event.
Yeah, and I wanted to touch on that too when you said that earlier, like Uprising was playing Little Pocket. Like that's something that, you know, we try to do too, is play both. You know, you want to try to get a feel of what it's going to be like if you have to put yourself in the pocket, not take those outside spots. And even like, you know, at practices, if you are making it out wide, both teams are making it out wide, and if you do play the pocket, you're going to start to lose points because the other team plays out wide. And typically a lot of teams, you know, in practices don't really play, I guess, you know, I don't want to say honest is the best word for it, but like they're not really following like all the different layers of the pressure and the refs and like the inches that how vital one point is, because every point is a reset. You know, there's not in practice, you're not worried about the score, you know, how heavy the risk is if you run into the snake, whatever it may be. You're not really like thinking about that a lot in practice. So it is good just to challenge yourself and your team to play some more of that pocket paintball, even if you're going to lose some points. You know, no one wants to lose, but you're going to learn more.
That's a really, really, really good point and takeaway. You don't always want it. I think we talked about this, or at least I talked about it on several different kind of Go Sports interviews and here and there. You definitely want to face some adversity. Yeah. Okay. And that'll be a kind of a great segue into our next piece, and some of the next two guests that we're going to have is you want to face adversity, right? Because you want to be able to grow. If everything's super easy, so for instance, if you're the wild cards playing D5 and everything's easy, you're just never going to get any better. All right, you need to level up. That's the reason these ranking systems are in place, is because if you're just beating up now, you might feel really good about yourself, winning a bunch of games, but that's not going to lead to growth. So, like Kyle said, we'll put ourselves in a position to be like, okay, let's try to do a bunch of pocket plays, and you're going in there with the mindset of this is going to suck if we start getting beat up if we don't hit these guys on the outside. But what if we can't make it? Right? You have to start getting creative with these types of things, and then learn how to be able to fix the problems more or less in real time, because or just at least have that plan in your back pocket.
Sure.
Right. So that's something that you definitely want to play into your game plan and into your practices. Right. So yeah, and Dalton, I believe it's okay to call out the wild cards as often as we want. You know, why not? And because I feel like you guys asked us about the wild cards like for 3 weeks straight, so yeah, we're letting them know. We're letting them know what's up. And really quickly before we just kind of gets too far behind us, I got to give an air horn. Next week, by the way, we might have some more new sounds, like I said. But air horn is for the new Welcome to the Sport level supporter, Greg Nakatani, and of course Dalton Gilbert. You rock. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, there's Troy Gregory is in here. See you at World Cup. Also, those of you guys, is anybody who here is going to World Cup? Do a little hashtag WWC win World Cup. Put it in the comments section for us.
So someone asked here a great question, saying what is the pocket? I hear that a lot. So I was just gonna just drawing for you guys too, that I think a lot of you guys understand. A lot of you guys already know what the pocket is, but basically, when we say the pocket, it is typically on a field that it's extremely risky to get to the outside. Typically, that's the snake one or the Dorito one. Sometimes even maybe slightly inside of that. But a pocket break would be like, say this is just, the most basic field here where you have a snake side and a Dorito side. Sorry, Ren, trying to do something here.
No, you're still in there.
Okay.
You got it. You have this one too.
Okay, so, you have...
graphics program here at the Spick Span Show.
You have... it's like really dangerous to get out to that Dorito side and really dangerous to get out to that snake side. So you go, basically, you have something like both insert bunkers, maybe 2 guys in the middle, and then a guy up there in the brick. And, sometimes you could try a little bit riskier and go out to that bunker before the snake, or you have that tower that's up there a little bit farther on the Dorito side. But those outside lines are usually like the danger zones. And sometimes it's both sides of a field. Sometimes it's only one side of the field. And you kind of have to weigh that out a little bit. I would say that last field was slightly pocketed because the Dorito side was pretty dangerous. I mean, you could get that one guy out there a decent amount, but that second guy was like stuck in that can for a while.
Yeah, that was a lousy place to be.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's when we say like it's a pocketed Dorito side or it's a pocketed snake side. And when we're talking about how balanced this field is like it's pretty. If you want to shoot the guy going to the Dorito one, you basically can. If you want to shoot the guy going to the snake, you can. But it's not a guarantee. And if you put all your eggs in a basket to shoot that guy, and then the team doesn't go, you probably missed a big hole somewhere else. And so that's like, honestly, the beauty of the way these fields are now, because it really is a physical game of chess, because Ryan is dealt a set of cards, I'm dealt a set of cards, and we flip them over and see, who's making the right decision there. Because before it was like pretty, the way the fields were being built, especially when we had a wall or X in the middle, it was pretty standard. Like, and that's why the game kind of slowed down a little bit, is because there was like only maybe 5 to 6 bunkers along the back side that you could go to. Now you have like 8 different bunkers you could go to. Each one in their own right has an advantage, depending on what the other team does. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into solving the equation off the break.
Yeah, absolutely. And another little tricky thing is for those of you guys who are on the Dorito side, you are the only ones that can see down the pipe to see where the bodies are stacked. You can't see it from the snake side or the back center.
Yeah,
you can only see it through that little line. So, that's definitely another little takeaway, a little tidbit. And I had a couple questions. So Short is not going to be coming to the event with us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We love him if he could. He did say he was going to come both days of practice, but by the end of day 1, he goes, I don't think I'm in shape for this. He said he was barely holding it together after the last point.
Oh, yeah.
At the last point, he ran to the snake, got right into the snake too, and shot a couple of people, and he goes, all right, that's it. I think the screws are falling out.
I still got it. And I ended up.
He didn't even say I still got it. He said, I am broken. But
I mean, it's like going snowboarding, Or even remember when we started playing after that long COVID break, and we were like, "Oh, I'm sore."
I'm sore.
Sore for like 3 days after that 100 practice.
Did you have a bunker rating thing that you wanted to talk about?
I didn't. I think that's a BKI.
That's a BKI thing.
I think that was Nick
Laval's. Nick Laval's. You got to watch Nick Laval's bunker rating system thing, Zool. That's the idea on that one. And if any of you guys are not members of BKI, you can scroll down to the bottom of the description here. There is a link to the BKI program. I believe that Spick and Span 50 or whatever code is in there gets you 50% off your first month's membership.
Really quick before you skip, Nick is one of the nicest guys on the team. I mean, in paintball. If you go watch the video and then you just want some extra little tidbits, I wouldn't recommend maybe asking him to go over it all through Instagram message with you. But if you have a specific question, message Nick. Nick, I was room with Nick this weekend. He goes, man, he's like, I love talking to people on Instagram, just seeing like their story and their questions they have and whatnot. So, yeah, definitely shoot him a message. I'm sure, he'd be happy to give you some feedback on that.
Yeah. And just real quick, also I see a comment from Chase Ryan who wished World Cup was in California like the paintball gods intended it to be. Although I do believe that I don't know how long World Cup has been in Florida, but I've been playing paintball for like 97 or 98 was my very first World Cup, and it was in Florida, and I believe it was like very close to where we're playing right now. So it hasn't really moved outside of that Kissimmee area, but I do believe the water has gotten a lot worse there. I did notice that as well. There was a comment about how bad the water is in Orlando. Like the flavor of like the tap water is like, it tastes like someone blew cigarette smoke somehow infused it into the water, which is funny. But great news and big thing coming to California is that the Combine is coming to California this year, February 5th and 6th at Capitol Edge Paintball Park. So they're gonna open up registration either within a week, I believe. Waiting for some jersey designs. I believe you're gonna have it's gonna come with the jersey. Always comes with the jersey, and you're gonna have an option to get another California themed jersey for that. So moving this thing kind of West Coast-ish a little bit.
I like it.
And they're talking about possibly opening up multiple combines throughout the nation. But yes, for those of you guys.
Yeah, I like that. Derek Weigel said Orlando Topwater drinking terrible things challenge. I'm okay with that one.
I don't know if I can do it anymore.
Yeah, maybe that's a great one then.
I'm gonna
bring some back in pods.
We don't eat anywhere other than Whole Foods when we're in Florida. Actually, at any event really at this point.
Do you know? I think I told you this, but there's a place in Sacramento. I think it's all over. Jack's Urban Eats.
Yeah, you showed me a picture and then I asked you where it was and you didn't respond to me. So I've been going up there. I've been up there for like 6 different times now, and I still don't know where it is. We go eat at Mendocino Farms.
Okay, there is a website called Google that if you type in Jack's Urban
No, but
Eats,
you never told me it was called Jack's Urban Eats. You just said I found a really bomb place, and like you wouldn't believe.
I didn't send you like a picture.
You sent me a picture of just your salad.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. No, okay. You didn't give me a receipt. You didn't send me a name. You just sent me a picture of your food, and you said. You wouldn't believe it that I found a good place to eat. And I said, awesome.
That place is one of the best places I've ate in, I don't know, ever. Yeah, like they have everything you could want.
Ever eaten. This is like the number one spot.
For having every single thing you could want, yeah.
So it's like a Cheesecake Factory, but better.
Yeah, they have healthy food. They have fattening food. They have like...
Interesting.
Desserts, they have everything.
Look at Delmont says Jack's is fire. Well, thank you guys now after I've been going up there for several years, and
yeah, Jack's
you guys have been making my guys love eating at that lousy taco shop. I think it's called Mi Estomago Dolor.
Mi stomach hurts.
Yeah, the pain in my stomach. Cheesecake Factory is trash. I was joking, Vegas Venom, but the reason I said that was
Ryan likes Chili's.
Because Alex said that last week too. The reason I said Cheesecake Factory is because they have the most robust menu out of any place in the world.
Yeah,
they've got like a 7-page menu with
gives me anxiety.
You can eat French food, you can eat African food, you can eat Italian.
I just open up a random page and that's my
Bolivian. They got Bolivian food.
Yeah,
it's like very, very peculiar.
The polar opposite of like In-N-Out.
It is very, very, very much different than In-N-Out. Should we call our guests?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need some books?
Yeah, let's grab some books. I'm gonna get them on.
Get him on the horn?
I'm gonna get him on the pad. I'm gonna get him on the pad. Actually, let me call you right now. Sorry, I was writing down one more question. Oops, nope. Oh wait, no, I don't want to call. All right, let's see here. How many? Oh, this is the one. Boom. FaceTime video. All right, we've got 2 guests joining us here on the show. Hey. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you. Yeah, and we can see you. Oh, but you're gonna need to turn. Yeah, that's better. Little delay. Hi, Rosie. Yeah, we can use multiple things. So we're just gonna prop you guys up. This is are you guys excited? Are you excited? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, great audio.
It's a little bit choppy on my side.
A little bit choppy on your side? Let's turn it at an angle like that.
There you go.
Okay. Well, weird.
I can hear you now.
Okay, great. Jen and Rosie, welcome to the Spick and Span Show. Let's move this thing a little bit. We're very thankful that you guys could come on last minute. We wanted to talk about, obviously, the WNXL is the main topic of focus and everything, and also your guys' I guess influence within, because we got Rosie, you're on Team USA, and kind of what that means and the direction that women's paintball is going in right now, because I think this is not only a big step. I do have a couple questions about some of the reasons, but it's a big step for you guys to kind of help grow the sport in from a women's standpoint. So do you want to introduce yourselves? Rosie, we'll start with you.
Sure. Hey, everyone. My name's Rosie, and I play for Team USA for the last 2 years, and then I also play with my local team, Palm Beach Reckless, down here in Florida.
Right. Nice.
Okay. And Jen?
All right. I'm seeing like a lag because I'm like trying to watch you guys on YouTube. So
there is a lag.
Don't watch us on YouTube. Just look it up. Just look at us looking at you.
Okay,
Looking at us.
You can read the comments.
All right,
I would turn the volume down. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm Jen. I did not play with Team USA, so most of you probably don't know me. I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. Well, technically Winston, but Greensboro, North Carolina. Shout out Paintball Central, my home field.
My hometown.
I play. Yeah, that's what's up. Get it up, Gridlock. I'm sure you've heard that.
Hit it up, Gridlock.
So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So how long have you, and both of you girls are playing on the same team on with Lori's the Heroines, correct?
Correct.
So how long have you known that there's going to be the development of the WNXL?
I actually heard about it probably a couple months ago. It was kind of in the works, and Anthony right away they had a roster lined up for us, and we didn't know if it was happening for sure, but we kind of caught it. And there's still like so many questions that still have to be answered, but they made it official a couple ago.
Mm-hmm. And Jen, you said are you guys planning on playing with your, because this one's an exhibition match, correct? This is just like kind of just testing the waters, seeing how it's going. So are you also playing with your teams? You're like the Palm Beach Reckless, and are you guys playing with your teams at this event as well?
So I'm not playing with Reckless for this event. Anthony decided to put in a D4 X-Ball team, Heroines. So we'll be playing D4 X-Ball and then the exhibition match on Saturday.
Okay. How about you, Jen? Same thing?
Yeah, pretty much. So my local team is Underground, like I said, from Paintball Central. Mm-hmm. We'll be competing in the NXL in 2022. So, and we decided not to do the NXL in 2021. So like Rosie said, Anthony hit us up about, playing with Heroines and D4 X-Ball at Cubs. So in addition to the exhibition, yeah.
So the question then is, how is the WNXL, I guess let's talk about 2022. Is that how would that affect your guys' commitment to your teams? Like, obviously you want this WNXL to grow, and I don't believe that it's planned to be an exhibition match moving forward. They kind of want to make it their own thing and just be traveling with that. So, yeah. So
I think as of right now, from what we learned, I think next year the WNXL is only going to host 3 events.
Okay.
That's not too many events, which means that we can still commit to an event if we'd like. So our plan is to still play with our regional team, and then also play with the women.
Okay, that is great. Oh, but regional teams in the regional events, but not in the NXL. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that I still don't know how that's going to affect our APPA.
Oh.
I don't know the details on that just yet.
Yeah, because they kind of have to give you some sort of ranking, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're not too sure on that, but I'd still like to play our regional series at least.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
No, I was just saying I didn't even think about how it's going to affect your APPA ranking, like where they're going to put you or place you in, like what rank is this going to be?
Yeah, I mean, the last I heard that it was going to be ranked D4, which I think is good because, like Rosie was saying, a lot of girls play regionally, and I think that that's something that we definitely don't want to take away from them. Mm-hmm. But to answer your question, my regional team will be playing nationally in the NXL next year. So I think the WNXL, like Rosie said, had planned to be 3 events. So I think World Cup might be one of them. So that might overlap, but I think that the focus is definitely going to be on, trying to get the women on the main stage. So it shouldn't overlap too much, I don't think, but that's just kind of the general idea.
Yeah, that was one of the concerns that I brought up to Tom or to Jason. I think it was to Tom, was kind of like it's you guys are gonna have to play this juggling act, and then it's great, but it almost forces you guys to make a decision one way or the other, which could in turn maybe stunt a little bit of your growth. Jen, I haven't seen you play, Jen. I've seen Rosie play. You play very incredibly well. As long as you're in good spirits and you're really confident, you're crushing it. And Jen, I just heard that you won a gold medal at one of your local events. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, Ryan Bailey just mentioned that, so said that you're killing it. So it seemed to be a great addition to the squad, obviously, and then hopefully whenever the women's national team rolls around, you can get on there. Have you guys practiced together yet?
So, funny story, I actually haven't even really met Rosie in person.
Oh.
So this is very new.
Just Zoom calls.
So this is Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan. That's Rosie right there.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Honestly, it's sad. I've met Kyle in person, but not Rosie. Like, what's going on here? No, but really, that was
like our 4th FaceTime.
That's the MO of 2021, though.
Yeah.
right.
Everyone's on
No
Zoom
kidding.
calls.
Seriously. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, that was part of it for me. Was a lot of these girls know each other and have played together. And this past summer, when Rosie contacted me and was like, "Hey, we have this thing going. Like, I know you're not familiar with us, but like, do you want to come be part of this?" So I'm definitely new to the crew. So it'll be an interesting time to step into World Cup and play with a lot of these girls for the first time. But I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
Oh, that'd be great. And then and how do you foresee then practicing and okay, let's picture this, 2022, 2023, we're moving forward. WNXL is growing because obviously the pitch, the idea here is to get as many women involved as possible. Like we've always talked about paintball being the great equalizer. It's the one thing that, you can play alongside of men and women can play alongside each other, and there's really no difference. It's not as much of a physicality as sport. It's like not like football or basketball. But with that being said, moving yourselves over there, the sport grows. How is practice going to work? Obviously you're going to have to at some point maybe make the decision on which team you want to be with. But because the sample size, the player pool for women isn't huge, you kind of have to pick players from Florida, from Texas, from Georgia, from all over the area to create this team. And what do you guys foresee that kind of how that's going to go?
All right. So we kind of have a little plan in the works right now. The majority of us are from either the Northeast, Southeast, or the Midwest. I think Alicia is furthest in Texas, I want to say. So the side is that we're all somewhat close by. So as of now, we're actually getting a practice in next weekend at Mikey McGowan's Field Prime Paintball, which is in Alabama, I believe. Leeds, Alabama. So this is a really short flight. I'm actually doing it's about an 8-hour travel. But for the most part, that was kind of central field for us to all meet. So we're going to do a video practice, and then we're going to have another practice following the Cup. and then hopefully during the off season, we're going to be practicing between Prime Paintball and then Anthony's Field 2 in Boston.
Right.
Did you guys play the field layout already?
Yeah.
At all? Yeah.
Yep.
What'd you think?
I mean, I don't know how we're going to compete with your breakdown. I thought I could go wide, but now I'm second guessing. No, I'm kidding. No, I think it's fun. I think it's fun. I think it's, perfectly designed for World Cup, because I know a lot of that, the design that goes in the cup layout is meant for it to be a good time and to be fun to watch. I do, it might be controversial, but I do think some things are getting a little bit repetitive. So I'd like to see, maybe something new in 2022, some new bunkers or some small changes that allow us to change it up just a little bit. But I think it looks like a lot of fun. I had a good time playing. It takes a really bad layout for paintball to not be fun for me. So
yeah,
I'm here for a good time.
I like it. Yeah, some different very unique feels would be interesting to watch too. Like something completely unorthodox, like something really wild. That would be interesting.
Do you know the other teams that are, so there's 5 teams in the exhibition, correct?
Kind of, yeah.
Do you know of any of the others? I actually don't know the team name. Yours is the only one, mainly because I know Lori so well, and I also hijack her a piggyback on her Canva account because she's got the pro one. So I've been looking at, I've seen all the iterations of your guys' logo, and it's pretty cool. So I get to see all of the brainstorming, and sometimes I'll pipe in and say something. But no, I've seen a lot of the graphics, your shirts and things like that, and they look really cool. So that's exciting. It's got to be exciting to kind of move and pivot to something that's new, right? Obviously, as women in a sport that is mainly dominated by male competitors, it can have its ups and downs, but this is obviously a really good way for you guys to help promote and grow the sport and be on that stage, so it can show that anybody can play, right? I guess, yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you 100%. I think that there's a big expectation that we have to meet for the WNXL, and I think with any league or an early new idea, you're going to get a little bit of pushback. So yes, some negative things that we've seen, but we're trying to look at more of the positive aspect of it, and the opportunity presented itself. And, it's not being detached. We're going to try extremely hard to meet that expectation, and it's a big challenge for us all. As far as the women playing in that match, I want to say it's the Femmes, Destiny, which the Femmes I think is Tammy Anderson's team.
Okay.
Old team, Destiny, and then the Diamonds. Sacramento
Diamonds, and then I just got this.
And then
Dallas Vibe.
Chase out in Texas.
I got a cat for some reason walking
Yeah.
across.
Yeah. There's a cat back there.
And then us.
Yeah,
the
and then you guys. So, yeah, for a second I looked back and I thought we had a cat running around in our house. So,
and Brad's coaching, is that right?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
Stuck with us. So.
Yeah. So.
No, he was with the Team USA program for the last 2 years, and we've kind of adapted to the whole AC programs, like communication and
which is great. I got to experience some of that too.
Yeah. So back when I was with Team USA, Brad was with AC at the time. So it was a lot of learning, but we really adapted to the whole program's, understanding of breaking down layout, the extra communication, which helps a ton. So he carried that on to everything that we do now with Team USA, and then heroes too. And he just knows the majority of the girls really well. So Anthony decided to bring him back for the heroines. So he's outside with watching guys' YouTube.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and I think most people know, but we're talking about Brad McCurley from Tampa Bay Damage here. your husband. So that's awesome to have that connection, have him, someone that's been in the game for so long, sharing that knowledge with everyone. So it's a great person to have, helping lead the team.
Yeah, and I've watched. I've talked to him. I've talked to you because I've coached you also in the combine before, and actually Troy Gregory, one of your other teammates in the combine, said that you're a killer over there. What you are. Stop being so modest. You need to have that boost of confidence. So I think that's a Jen, and that's one big thing. Okay, when you're playing with Rosie, just keep her boosted. Keep boosting her. There's she plays really, really well. You just gotta stay positive and stay engaged. I think is a big thing for you. I've seen a lot of that. So that is a big factor, I think, in all of paintball, right? Do you guys have a practice slot scheduled for Wednesday or Thursday?
We do. Yep. I honestly it's on Wednesday at 3.
Wednesday at 3. Because I know a lot of the people who are watching this are going to World Cup, and I do think it's important that we give as much support. Also, because one of the reasons and one of the big factors, aside from getting more women, I think I have some stats here, and it's slightly dismal on as to how many women actually are playing and kind of where it's going in the direction, and it's not going outside of any kind of realm, right, of how many women are actually playing in the NXL. And that actually might not even just be the NXL, but anyway, that's obviously this is an attempt to grow that number, right? And it's more or less the equivalent of what roster of 5 teams. Okay, so there were roughly 58 women players in the league this year registered, and the goal is obviously to boost those numbers and get more players involved. But in a competitive fashion also, which is really important. That's a big takeaway, because I know that we have some players who watch the show who don't play competitive paintball. They're more or less the recreational side of things. But also, this has some implications to possibly, if you cross your fingers, legitimizing the sport enough to be able to become an Olympic sport. So I think that's one of the other goals. So
yeah, me and Jen, we FaceTime before all you guys, and that was one thing we talked about is you kind of have to get the bigger picture, the big goal ultimately, which is getting paintball to the Olympics, which is going to be in LA in 2028. And when Tom Cole had his meeting, I think it was that Monday after Chicago, that's kind of the big goal. You get more women to participate. And it has to be a worldwide effort, not just here in the States. Yes, we are a huge platform for it. Have to be certain numbers to meet the criteria for us to be potentially in the Olympics by then.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, that's a huge factor. So any of you guys who are international watchers right now, you're watching from an international standpoint, go ahead and contact your local federation. I know Europe's big in federations. And tell them that we need to ramp up the women's leagues, because I believe you need about 20 nations to be in the consideration. And I believe, from what I understand, is that the Olympics are adding 6 new sports for 2028.
Wow.
And 2028 is in Los Angeles.
Traffic's gonna be
traffic's
awesome.
Gonna suck. No, but that's a big thing, because obviously with budgets and everything else that goes into a lot of the stuff, that is something that is achievable. Plus, I won't even be 50 yet, so I can probably still make the team. Do you girls? Let's see. Do you have at your field? Do you have any girls that play at on a younger upper coming level, or there's other girls at the field that are beginning to become regulars? Jen?
So you cut out for that question.
Oh, sorry.
So you might have to repeat that question.
Yeah, sorry. I was asking if there are any women or girl players that are at your local field that are kind of up and coming, or don't quite play tournament paintball, but play it a little bit. Maybe aren't on the D4, D3 kind of rank yet. that you can kind of coax into the sport? Because that's the idea, right? We're trying to get more people in to fill this void that we're missing.
Sure. Yeah. There's not really. I mean, I kind of come from like a smaller field. There's not that many girls that play at my field. I think that was one of the big things that was not necessarily a shock, but whenever I started playing, you know, I go to the field every weekend, and Sunday it's me and 40 guys, and that's just part of the sport. And I hope that one day that changes, and that we can see more just regular girl players that play regularly. I mean, you know, last weekend I was walking to my car after playing, and I saw a group of girls playing like a private group, and they looked like they were like a soccer team or something from a high school. And I was like, yes,
Awesome.
you know, like, and I told my husband as we were walking, and I was like, there's a girl in there that is a high school athlete that would be so good at paintball, but she just doesn't know. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons that this is kind of important to me. Is I'm 28 at this point, and I wish that 18-year-old Jen played paintball. And you know, because I was a superstar, like multi-sport athlete at the time, and I think that if we can market this more towards young female athletes, that we would see a increase in female players that are playing at that competitive level, even, you know, up into D3 and D2 and hopefully even higher than that. But right now the sample size is just so small, and it's hard to, you know, when you look at World Cup and you see 5,000 male players, it's like, okay, what does it take to get to the top level? You know, your sample size, you end up with, you know, young players that come up the ranks and get to that top level so quickly, you know, like Smotrov or Tim Stetzel or any of these young guys that just, you know, find their way and that are, you know, standouts. But I feel like when you have a sample size of women that is so small, it's hard to find those kind of, I don't want to call them hidden gems, but I'm hoping that we can start to reveal that those girls are out there.
Well, let me ask you this as a quick follow-up. Like, what do you think is holding, and Rosie, you can answer this question as well, what is holding you back from moving up from your current position, or what do you think that like a big boost from where you guys were D5 to D4 to 3, and then what is holding you back from making that next jump?
I think for me personally, I kind of went on in paintball, and especially a couple years ago with having Riley.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that changed everything for me. So it kind of slowed things down with my productivity in paintball. But quite honestly, doing the combine, it kind of jump-started my little spark again. But I mean, I've been playing since 2010. It's always kind of going back and forth between like D4 or D3, and then I just kind of hit the slump with the team, and then I move, or I have to start with a new program. And I feel like with my path, I just moved a lot. I came from Wisconsin. I was with the Boom program with them for almost 2 seasons, and then went down to Arkansas and moved in with Brad. I played with the AC camp, which was actually Tim Land's AC program. I only played with them for a little bit, and then again we had to move down to Florida. So I never really had anything too consistent over the years, but I'm hoping that will change starting this year.
Yeah.
Something a little bit more consistent. So
That's obviously something, you know, if you have to move around a lot and have to reprove yourself, relearn, redo, find, you know, new people to kind of go out there and play with. That's obviously a tricky thing.
Sure.
Jen?
And I was going to add too, I think with women, sometimes there's situations too where, you know, maybe they came in playing paintball with either their other half or introduced, so that they had to fall out. They didn't come into paintball. It's very situational for each and every person. But I also think that the whole entire sport, with it being a male-dominant sport, can be just a little intimidating. So maybe they don't have... Oops, sorry.
You're still here. You're cutting out a little bit, but...
everything cut out for me, so I'm trying to reconnect.
You're good. You guys are good. I think the connection's better now.
Yeah, you just restarted the connection for us.
Sorry about that.
No, it's a good thing.
It helped. It helped. Everything's smooth now.
But in short, what I was just trying to say is, you know, sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating if, you know, you're new in the sport or you're a girl in the sport and you just see that it's so male dominant, where you might not have a clear path on how to achieve your goals per se, or maybe you just fallen out of interest. So I think that there needs to be more avenues such as with the WNXL for an opportunity for them to, have a path to take or, find the right opportunities.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's definitely tricky. You named off a lot of the pitfalls as to what, it is a hurdle that a lot of players have to overcome for sure. But in also, if you obviously the more the group we were talking about it earlier, right? You need to have adversity in order to grow, right? You need to make sure that you guys are constantly challenging. And then Jen, you mentioned it. It's there. You're looking for that diamond in the rough also because the sample size is so small. You need an outlier that's like, whoa, how did Tim Stetzel make it so quickly? Or how did this kid how it was able to go up the ranks so quickly? Now, obviously, out of the million people that play paintball every year, only 10,000 or 100,000 of them are tournament players, and out of that, like how many of those guys are actually going to be able to make it like quickly up the ranks? You start to weed out a lot of mud, and it is like finding a diamond in the rough for some of those. Now there is growth that can be made. Definitely naturally, that takes a little bit longer. Obviously, there are players who take a little bit longer to get to that maturity in paintball, and it is achievable, right? So rather than looking for the diamond in the rough, like what do you feel, Jen, that you could do, or what would help you? Whether it's like I need an infinite amount of paint, or I need 2 weekends every year. I need it to not snow. I don't know. Does it snow where you guys are from? I feel like it does.
Occasionally.
Anyway, like I need this, or I need a more stable base of like what would your ideal scenario or conditions be for you to feel that you would be more productive in moving forward and up the ranks?
It's kind of a loaded question and I kind of cut out during the last question that you guys got. Not the one you asked, but I'm talking about the question that Rosie was answering about, what it is that's keeping us from playing in the higher divisions. And she kind of touched on it, but one of the biggest things I think is the commitment from your own team.
Yes.
So there's obviously multiple routes. There's, the route of you as an individual player, doing what's best for you, moving up the ranks, whether it's to drive 2 hours to play with a different team who is playing in that higher division, or playing, with your own home team in your current division and moving up together as a team. And I actually didn't start playing until I think 2 years ago. I was introduced to the sport a long time ago, I think in 2008, but I didn't start playing until another 10 years later. I did a lot of paintball photography up until that point, but I never actually played. So I have only been playing for a little bit. But it wasn't really until this year, 2021, that I was able to find a team that had the right chemistry, the right talent, the right teamwork, and the right commitment that could win a season. And we did. And it was regionally, but the point is
that's a win. That's great.
But now it's like we have that confidence to go into our next season playing NXL in Division 3, and it's like, okay, now I feel confident in what I'm doing and the time that I'm spending and the money that I'm spending to compete, nationally at this level. And to me, it's like that's, everybody says like, I want to play paintball because it's fun. I want to have fun doing what I'm doing, but also like I want to be competitive. And to me, it's playing with these guys, with this set of 7 or 8 guys that I've grown with this season, and working with them together to get to that top level. Because if you look at teams like for example, a great example is Glasscamp. These guys have come together since D3 all the way up to semi-pro. I think Brawl also did that. You've got these guys that have grown together, and I think that that's so, so important. I mean, I'm sure there are certain people that have that path of, I want to better myself and go play for another team, and that's a perfectly fine way. But for me, it is about teamwork and commitment from my personal local guys.
For sure, that's a really important part of it.
That was a great one. Yeah, commitment is something that plagues, I think.
I mean, all the way up to pro.
Yeah. Like you'll get guys. I mean, we've had a notorious player that was difficult to get commit. Even on our level, and obviously if you have to deal with the traveling, and once you kind of get more and more. But yes, a big factor in helping the commitment level of the team is winning, right? Because in Rosie, as you know, like confidence will breed confidence, and that's going to be a catalyst for you women to move forward in everything. So I think that was a great answer, and I think that's a good takeaway for a lot of people out there. And Jen, you play with your husband? Your husband plays on the team?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And then Rosie, your husband coaches you on the team.
Yep. Touching base with, or just kind of adding on with what Jen said on commitment. So Anthony and Brad, they really instill, I guess it's like the word for our team is accountability. So yes, even though that we live separately, you know, we live in so many different areas of the country that we are held to a pretty high degree of, making sure we work out, that we are practicing on the weekends, and then we do Zoom calls together and we just talk about everything and, what we're doing to improve ourselves. And, Brad, even, living with him, he does remind me to, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like sometimes we'll do the agility training, anything that we can do to improve ourselves with such little time that we have before next week for the exhibition match. And then hopefully during the off season, we'll be in full mode, but it's really just having that accountability and the chemistry with our team. I have a feeling that we're going to be committed for a long, long time.
Excellent. That is great. I had a question actually from Steve Segovia, who is been a long time Dynasty pit crew. He's been with us for a lot of our wins, a ton of our wins anyway. He wanted to know if you guys need any help, you girls need any help in the pits. Or is that a question for Lori?
Yeah. I know you guys talk to her a lot, but I'd probably reach out to Lori or Anthony. One person who stepped up today, Glenn, that wants helping us in the pits, but I think they'd be open-minded to it for sure.
Okay. I'll put the two of them in contact for sure on that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming on. I know that that was a little bit, I guess it was kind of last minute, but I know that you popped in and you girls did a great job. I know you were nervous to do it. Okay.
I tried to back up so hard.
But you guys dropped some good knowledge. And
there was
some good perspectives from the
No,
way you guys are seeing things, and it's cool to hear.
Do you have anything else you would like to add?
I do have in my notes. I'm going to turn the tables a little bit, but I did want to ask, obviously you guys have been in the sport for a long time, some of the best players in the world, and I wanted to ask you guys to give to us women competing in the WNXL.
I'm sorry, say that again. You cut out right at the very end of that one.
A pretty general question, but I wanted to ask, do you guys have any advice for all the women that are competing in the WNXL?
Oh. You want to go first?
I guess the biggest thing is, like, I always say when they're, as it gets to something bigger and like, especially World Cup is a huge stage, there is more pressure. So I think the biggest thing is just trying to, balance, realizing that obviously the pressure is bigger there, and there's a lot weighing down that it is World Cup. It's the first WNXL, but at the same time, letting that how massive the event is and what you guys is doing. You don't want to let it get to your head too much that it's taking away like your mental space and focusing on the job at hand and what you guys have worked for. So kind of like tricking your brain is I think a really powerful thing that you guys have to channel as well is don't forget what you've learned and what you've done because of the pressure. So just and that's easier said than done, but just remember your goal and just think about it as like, I'm just gonna play the best paintball ever. There's no pressure here, and I think that will help along with, because it does, it's even for us still. I'm sure, like, Ryan and I who have played for years, it's still, come Sunday or on that final stage, like, it is heavy. So, but you have to, like, kind of put that in the back and focus on what you've trained your whole life for. So,
Yeah, it is. That's a good point. And it was funny. We just had a question similar to that on from Go Sports. Matty asked, and he's like, "What do you say to the people that are?" And I think Mouse's answer was published. Was like, what do you say to the people saying like, "Hey, it's just another Sunday's just another day of paintball." It's like there's a fine line and a balance that you need to understand and you need to be able to cope with. I think the biggest thing is you've gotten through the hurdle of you're on the main stage no matter what, right? So it's not like you had to like work, you didn't have to win all these events or whatever it is to get to this point, right? Where you're on there. So the hard part is essentially kind of done. So it is the opportunity for you to kind of mix that balance of going out there and trying to have fun, okay? But Jen, you put it great, is like you have to go out there with the confidence and understanding why you're playing there, who you're playing for, who you're representing, and without putting too much weight on your shoulders, right? What you guys are building for the future. The good news is that because your team you girls will have already all been playing together on the team throughout the event. That I think the exhibition is at 1:30 on Saturday. Is that correct? Something like that, 1:30 or 12:30. On Saturday?
I think they moved it up to 11:30.
Okay, but it's on Saturday. So you're gonna
because of the break.
Yeah, you're gonna have had a bunch of games under your belt and practice, which may or may not be more than what some of the other women's teams will have had. So you really just need to go out there and execute what you're doing. Okay, you can't let anything. You can't have any of these other distractions. We talk about eliminating as many of the distractions as possible, but you have to go out there, be confident, and execute what you feel is working to the best of your ability, right? And what Brad feels is the best outcome that could be had with the game plans that are there. And just go out there and try to have fun. Obviously, fun comes with winning, but you all have to understand that that's kind of that's the goal, right? So you have to have one. One can't be had without the other, in my opinion. So there's that goal. It's tough. It's hard because you are in there and nobody. Only you can control your emotions. It doesn't matter how many people tell you, oh, just do this and think of it like that and do X, Y, Z. But you really have to try your best and do your best to control whatever emotions you may have because you are playing at World Cup on the main stage, and will be televised on Go Sports. So. No pressure, obviously.
I did have another question. So things get chaotic in your pits, or let's say that you're down like on a 2-3 point deficit and like you're really feeling the pressure. Are there like any rituals that you guys do or any kind of like small exercise to kind of like get your team to calm down?
Yeah, so everybody gets in the huddle and then they do the big, rah, 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 and shouting and this and that. That's a big thing that gets everybody hyped and up. But you do need to have that balance, right? And that's the same thing we were just talking about. A lot of people, will do like a little breathing thing, right? Breathing is a huge factor. I know Mikey actually, if you are ever in the pro pits, if you kind of like look around before our matches, Mikey always does like a little meditation thing. I think you do that also. But just kind of like find that balance and try to figure out a way to kind of bring that energy, because you don't want the energy to be chaotic, like you said. You need to bring everything down, and I think it starts it from an individual aspect and mindset, and everybody has to get into their own focus, and then you bring it together and just kind of like what we'll do is, and actually we did it at World Cup. We've done it several times when you're down, when you're up or you're down or whatever it might be. Sometimes you just need to bring it back and just go, let's center ourselves. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves in the win. And then let's also refocus on how to bring it back from a little bit of a loss.
Yeah. And I to give you like even a more specific technical answer for that too, I guarantee you'll have this because even we have it in our pits. But you have to like sift out when stuff starts going bad for your team and you start losing points. Typically, there is a lot of conversations that happen between players or players and a coach that take so much time away from worrying about the next point and the next goal. Like, if we're sitting here and we're arguing about like, why didn't you do that? Like, your shoe was untied, whatever it is, you know, it's like, how is that going to help the next point? So if you guys can be really aware of and listen to all the conversations, and try to filter out what's going to help us for the next point. If like the most common thing is someone gets a penalty and the whole 2 minutes is spent arguing about if the penalty was right or not, and then you're like, oh shit, we have to play with 4. We didn't even come out with a game plan. Everyone go get out there. You don't even have a chance. You've already lost the next point because you're so wrapped.
Productivity.
Yeah, because you're so wrapped up in like the mistake that you already made that's done. Like, find the solution. And if you guys can realize that and move forward and you know, cater to finding the solution, it's really, really powerful. So just and you can, that starts from practices too. Listen to how it goes on. Like, make sure that dialogue that goes back and forth is about the next point.
Yeah, and be good at clearing it, right? So clearing the energy, like you lost, something went very poorly for you, just clear it, focus, get your stuff done. Like my ritual is no matter what the point is, I go out, get my air, get my paint. I have like a little habit that I get into. It's always the same sequence of events, and I go in there and it's just kind of like recollecting and thinking rather than coming off. I know that I'm not great at. Sometimes I'll come off and get a little heated, but for the most part, I'm just trying to like go in and over and just kind of have the same motions, and you just kind of eliminate, you trim that fat. I know, Rosie, you've heard me say this a lot in these clinics and these events, is you want to trim the fat, right? You don't want anything else weighing on you. So just kind of clear it and then bring everybody together and say, hey, listen, this is what we need to do. But luckily you have Brad also, so he's going to be able to help to hopefully calm everybody's nerves, and if anything,
and he's been in the trenches.
Yeah,
he knows how it goes.
Yeah,
so.
He knows how it goes.
Yeah.
So.
He caters to us well. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, real quick, who have your role models been in paintball? That was one question that came in as a side comment there. Jen, you can go first.
Oh God, you put me on the spot. Role models. I wouldn't be playing the sport if it wasn't for my husband. So first and foremost, shout out to him for getting me into this sport. Let's see. Honestly, right now, probably Nikki McEvers. Shout out to Nikki.
There you go.
She's killing it. I love what she's doing. I support every single bit of what she's doing and her message that she's putting out there. And then let's see. Favorite player, hands down, Alexander the Great Malloy.
Yeah,
by
that's
far.
a great one.
By far.
Yeah.
All right, Rosie.
Those are good ones. Of course, I'd have to be Brad as well. He's been my rock, like on or off the field, but he always pushes me to be my version. So I definitely give him props for that. As far as other idols, I'd probably say Katie Kelly. I've actually never had the chance to meet her, but when I first started playing paintball, she was a huge inspiration, and she played really well, and I always inspired her. And so it's just like, might be coming back for the WNXL, but I've always loved her style of play. So
Awesome. Well, excellent. Great interview. Great answers on those ones as well. Thank you both very much for coming out. Everybody here, I know, is looking forward. We're looking forward to watching you girls play, and the birth of the women's national X-Ball league is going to be pretty cool. So, best of luck at the events. And we're excited. So, guys,
we just wanted to say thanks for the support, for really bringing us on and kind of giving the spotlight to the women of paintball. So we appreciate that. And just a little sponsor plug. I do want to thank GI Sports, JT, Planet Eclipse, Mikey McGowan with Pride Paintball, and then obviously BKI and BNXL.
Right on. Well, thank you very much, and everybody watch for the merch. The merch is going to drop. The heroin shirts are going to be ramped up for World Cup, so we got to support the women's league, so we can grow that sport even more and more. So thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah,
great work.
Take care, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
It was easy, right?
Thanks, guys. You too.
All right. Have a good night,
ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Rosie and Jen from the new NXL women's division. The Heroines. The team is coached by Brad McCurley and is owned by Lori Miller from Boston Paintball and BKI Paintball. So that's actually going to be pretty exciting. You know, we definitely mentioned in there that I mentioned it kind of quickly, but like there are only in the NXL registered, I believe, 58 women players. So to put that in perspective, I actually don't even know how many players have been registered over the course of the year in total. But World Cup usually has a couple hundred teams. If you average at about 7 guys per team, you know, that you're looking at like 0.02% of the league.
200 total players?
Yeah, 200 total players, yeah.
That math's right.
that math is right on, spot on.
This thing's about to die, by the way. It was never charging.
We're not charging. Oh, we plugged in the wrong one. No, wait. No, it's plugged in. Wait a minute.
Here.
It's not even charging at all. Oh, man, she's going to be pissed at you.
Me?
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to work these new USB-Cs.
Oh, we're not plugged in over on this side. She's
Okay,
getting pissed at me.
I'm going to let this dog out, so...
Hold on. There we go. Now we're charging. So anyway, yeah, it blows me away too. I was not expecting that number. So obviously, the thing to do is bring out your significant other, tell your sister, get some new goggles from HK Army for your daughter, and get your kids, family, friends, everybody to start playing. Because again, like Jen said, is that the sample size isn't huge, right? So if there are any glimmers of hope as far as players, you know, they could be those types of players that can move up in the ranks relatively quickly. And Andy, that is a possibility. I believe that is actually exactly what happened to the player that was in, what was the team from the Czech Republic?
PPA Arena.
PPA Arena. She was a tremendous player, and I think that there was some sort of internal situation that got one of them to quit. D's on. Really quickly, shout out. You're right. Shout out to everybody that joined during the conversation, everybody who donated during the conversation. We really appreciate it. I've actually brought Camille out to play her very first time. She ended the big game in 15 minutes. She grabbed the flag, despite what some recommendations from some other players. Again, the gun is the great equalizer, and in my opinion, there aren't many things that really are different between men and women players. And so this is going to be good to bring more players into the league, and then hopefully we have some that, like you said, or like Jen said, it's a commitment thing. Mm-hmm. And then, so if you imagine how flaky your team is, or the teams that you have played for, and it's hard to get them together. Now imagine if there's only 58 of those types of players in the league. You know, if half of your guys on your team can't commit, it makes it even more difficult for women players to excel if the sample size is that much smaller. So
sure.
So yeah. Anyway, we're gonna be stoked to watch them play out there in the event World Cup. So make sure everybody has a Go Sports login and membership, and you best believe we are going to be talking about it on the show after World Cup.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah,
we are eating terrible things.
And you know what? This is actually the longest time that we've made it without anybody recommending what they think we should be eating. So
Don't say that.
So we are taking recommendations. I have some fish that I caught in the fridge still. We could leave that. If Jonas can give us the recipe for how to dry out fish when it's rotten, I think you can still eat it. And we do need to figure out what we're going to be eating for the week after World Cup.
Florida water.
Drinking Florida water. Yeah, you got to put the Florida water into a plastic bag and carry it, and if it makes it through the carry-on through your bag the entire flight in one Ziploc without breaking, then you have to drink it afterwards. Otherwise, your stuff gets wet.
Sounds like a win if it busts.
It
I might not seal the bag.
You might not. Yeah. And just reminder. Actually, Kyle and I are both coming to Georgia. We're both going to Banditland, December 12th weekend in West Georgia. We're both teaching a clinic out there. So for those of you who are in the Georgia area, and I believe that surrounding area is kind of like, there's a lot of states and cities and stuff that border that area. My geography right in the middle is not fantastic, believe it or not. But yes, we are coming to Georgia. December 12th weekend is also the same time that there's an event down in Panama. Unfortunately, not going to be making it to that one. Sticking local in the U.S. And then I will also be the weekend, 2 weeks after World Cup, I will be out in Dallas, Texas for Black Friday weekend up at Giant Party Sports. I'm excited for that because not only am I excited for that because it's going to be a cool, fun little day at the Black Friday kind of super sale at their facility or their storefront. Sorry. And then we're doing a clinic on Saturday and then open play. I'm excited for open play on Sunday because they have some pretty cool fields out there.
Yeah,
and I'm excited to see all that stuff. So I heard it's badass. Yes, Andy, that is correct. So yeah, we are up over on the likes right now, and we have a bunch of cool stuff to give away. And I'll tell you guys a little bit more about this sweatshirt on the next episode.
That's
so next
so funny.
week.
I was like, man, no one's liking it because on here it didn't change. It just says 23.
Oh, you gotta ramp. You gotta
refresh. I was like, wow, that's
yeah. Lutefisk. All right, Steve, if you can figure out where I can find some lutefisk, maybe we'll eat that. Check it out. It is winter time, or it's getting cold. It's about winter. Not here in San Diego yet, but Field 1 and Dynasty are coming out with some cool new beanies. I think it was cool.
I like those.
Embroidered.
Yeah,
this is nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, this is a pretty solid beanie right here. We've got a couple of other things, big ticket items that we're going to be giving away over the course of the next couple of shows or episodes. We've got this company Opov. We're gonna have a discount code for you guys. It's not active yet. I'm waiting for them to send it to me. I think you get like 10 or some odd % off of this thing. But we talked about this. These things are a great, maybe not stocking stuffer, but these things are pretty awesome. William Painter stopped by and doled out a new set of shades.
Was in here.
Oh, you weren't supposed to see that.
That was a surprise.
This was a surprise. I'm supposed to get you with this thing, and then someone's
so
like,
I should have just got you.
You should have. I don't know why you saw this thing and you weren't like, a real life air horn. Rose.
Yeah, I knew.
Okay.
That's why I thought
well,
it
now
might not be good to blow that.
Sloane's pissed. So Rose is pissed. I can't wait to hear how Camille feels about me doing that once this show is over. So let's get to the giveaways.
Hey.
I picked up some blue light glasses actually because I felt like I needed those things, and they dropped off an extra pair of. These are actually called the Sloanes, not named after our daughter. She wasn't named after the sunglasses, but those are.
Was just.
Just a coincidence.
Right? Wow.
Yeah, just a coincidence. It's called the Sloanes. Anyway, so we're gonna have a pair of these things to give away on the show in a couple of episodes. And then I got these blue light glasses, and then I saw how good I look with glasses on.
Yeah.
Like Clark Kent, kind of.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I need to get these things.
Like Marcelo, kind of.
Not like Marcelo, but I do. They did coincidentally give me a pair of clear ones that are very like Marcelo, but those are Camille's.
Can I see? Can I try them?
Yeah, they got thumbprints all over them because I think Sloane got a hold of them. Don't you look like?
I should wear these to school.
Yeah, I want to wear those things way more often.
Yeah.
So
my eyes do hurt after a long day on the computer. So.
For sure. Well, I've got a pair of clear ones that you can wear whenever you want.
Is that?
They're like this.
Those are good for Instagram stories.
Yeah. These are solid.
Yeah.
And you're guaranteed to be smarter when you wear these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's right. That's correct.
If you guys need to pick up a pair of blue light glasses because your eyes are burning, there is a discount code from William Painter down at the bottom there. I think it's $20 off or something like that. So, where did Ryan go? Yeah, it doesn't even look like me. But these beanies are going to be available at World Cup. You can pick them up from the Field 1 booth. But someone today is going to win this one right here.
Dang, I got a lot of compliments on these. I might need to have to go switch over to glasses.
Yeah. So I only got one compliment. You got a bunch.
You got hipster, which is like that could be
a compliment.
Up into interpretation. Kyle suited those.
I got the best one, Superman.
Yeah, I guess
I'll take that.
That does
that
trump
trumps
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So IQ goes up 50 points.
I got instant 10 out of 10. Someone called me a 10 with those on, so.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Not gonna approve that comment.
Andy. So, if you would like to get compliments just like this, then click the William Painter link below and use the discount code to pick up a pair of the blue blocker
That's
glasses.
a great commercial.
This is a great commercial.
That was a great commercial.
Just shows
you want
shows
compliments
you
like that.
if you want to look smarter, look like Superman, get a 10 out of 10 rating, and then look at something that is slightly
Look like Superman, a 10 science teacher,
Yeah,
and
and
your
a hipster.
IQ goes up.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm sold.
I'm sold. Where do I buy?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got this, and I have a William Painter beanie. I'm gonna give that one away probably next week or on another show. But it's very similar to this one, except it's black and it says William Painter, not Dynasty. You can even take it out of the plastic if you want. I've got 3 microfibers. We're gonna give 3 of these things away. I've got 2 signed packs of cards. Well, they're not packs. They're just two cards. A Yosh Rao and Marcelo Margot signed, and a Blake Yarber and Ryan Greenspan signed Dynasty card. We're gonna have
college ruled edge.
Yeah, that's gonna go into someone's outgoing package. So if you get that, and you're gonna be reminded of God, Andy. You will be reminded of how fun college is. Also, we've got an HK Army extra large Hostel Kids Tiger Stripe jersey in here, and then without.
That's a cool one.
This one's really cool.
Yeah.
I kind of want to keep this one. Sorry, we're giving this one away today. All right, and we've updated the wheel. So for those of you guys who noticed that your names are gray in the chat box, that means you are not members. If you'd like to join the channel, join, support, do whatever it takes to get your name on the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel. If your name lands on it, you win. If you're not here, it's okay, and I had your address. I will still send it to you. We are going to do one cutthroat, though. We have to.
Yeah, we had some...
You know the rules.
Yeah.
I know that if you guys are not here and your name gets picked, you're a little bummed. But those are the rules of cutthroat. Okay?
So we'll do more regular spins.
So I've got
one cutthroat.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eight items to give away, one of which is going to be cutthroat. And the cutthroat is actually, we're going to dumb it down a little bit, so it's not every single member. It's just the Super Mega Support Status members and the discounted merch perk members. So everybody who's one of the top 2 members, you guys are names are on a separate wheel. We're going to spin that. It's Cutthroat City. You knew the rules. And we'll explain those here in a second. And like I said, we are going to be giving away one of these massage guns also. Not today, not tomorrow, but probably at the end of the month.
And it won't come with the air horn in it.
There's not going to be an air horn in it. It's just going to be this thing. Although you might actually want the air horn because it's kind of... This one's probably better for you.
Kind of looks like an air horn.
It does look like an air horn. Very similar shape. Let me massage your ear with this thing.
No.
So, let's just start with the simples. Okay, we're gonna do 3 microfibers, 3 times, 3 wheel spins, 3 winners right off the break. If your name gets picked, I'm gonna ship it to you as long as I have your address. Okay, that's the rules.
I believe I have an address for you too.
Oh, and you have an address for me. Great. Okay, so we're gonna spin this 3 times right now. Microfiber winner number 1 is going to be Mr. Michael Simon. All right, Michael Simon is the winner number 1. Winner number 2. Also, if you are a Super Mega Support Status member, Gene Fountain. All right, I'll put you on the list, Gene. Mr. Bobby Kramer. All right. And last but not least, for the 3rd and final microfiber, I actually sent out microfibers, barrel condoms, and posters to every Super Mega Support Status member that we have. Andy McLean. Look at that. It's from all of your clean jokes that you were telling. Okay. I'll get the address.
You have that one? All right.
I might. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll figure that one out. Okay, so those are for these 3 guys right here. Boom. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I'm gonna try to get one little piece of trivia actually really quickly while I set this up. Let's see if I can get this. There's gonna be a piece of trivia. All right. again, should we do Cutthroat right now? So while everybody's watching, Scotty Doe, welcome to Mega Support Status membership. Thank you very much for your support. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let me just update the list here, and we're gonna jump straight up into Cutthroat City here. The rules for Cutthroat, as a lot of you guys know, is you have to be present to win. Okay, we're gonna spin the wheel, and if your name lands on it, we're going to give you a
5 seconds to win.
Yeah, you get about 5 seconds, 3 seconds to claim the gift. If you
What are they winning?
should we do the beanie?
I think the beanie's good, and you could get this if you want
The beanie, and Kyle's
college rule edging.
paper edging. Okay, so Andy, Scotty Doe, you're in there. Okay, if you guys are Super Mega Support Status members or you are Discounted Merch Perk members, you are eligible for this beanie right now. And we are going to spin. So you have to make sure that you guys are the top 2 members. So if you need to upgrade. If not, we're about to hit it. Okay? So we're entering full screen.
Yeah, we can sign the edging.
Yeah, we'll sign something. Here we go. Going over into the second monitor. Okay? Here we are. These are your top 2 members. Top 2 tier members. Here we go. Spinning once. And we're going to count down to Mini-Me Racing. Going once. 2. 3. 4. And Will's Media, this is not low-key dope. This is incredibly dope.
Yeah, I guess they're spinning
Nope,
again.
spinning it again. Boom. All right. Here we go. Cutthroat City, Cutthroat City, Cutthroat City. And here we go. Mr. Corey S. I have not seen his name in there. You guys are also subsequently going to win some of my hair as well because I'm winning this thing here for a second. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh, at the buzzer beater, Corey S. Thank goodness you were here because I know that the first non-winner is going to mention something about him winning and not winning and being here, and you wish you were here. So Corey S., congratulations! You just won a Field 1 beanie that has been unreleased. So make sure I have your guys' addresses. And shipping addresses, contact info. Let's go ahead and put this thing in there right now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Put in
You're
the
gonna
edge,
get Kyle's
part
Kyle's
right here.
Yeah, Kyle's rule notebook. This is the thing. And you know what's actually
Maybe
interesting?
you'll forget that it's in there too.
You know what's interesting is in every HORMESIS headband, inside of the terry cloth, is a secret message.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So and it's to kind of give you guys that info. Yes, Andy, that is correct. Nudes go elsewhere. You send all of your addresses to either my email address, to Kyle's email address. You can write them down on a piece of paper and mail them directly to us, whatever you'd like. Why does my thing say that it's just now saying
Still on there?
Oh,
You went live.
I wasn't live. But make sure I have it so that way, just in case you are not present to win, we don't throw your stuff back into the pile, which I think happens quite a bit. You'd be surprised. Also, I just wanted to remind everybody that the charity raffle, or let you know, the charity raffle is live right now on the HORMESIS website. We've already sold 75 tickets, so we've already raised $750 for charity. Can you believe that? In 1 hour and 45 minutes.
There you go.
I think
That's
it's only been live for about 45 minutes.
That's huge.
But in less than an hour, we raised $750 for charity. So again, we're going to ramp this up and keep it going. The more money that we raise, the more prizes that we are going to donate to the pot. Because I'm not putting a cap. I think we're going to maybe cap the tickets at around 200 to 250. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that we raise as much as possible. So to keep your odds of success and winning as high as possible, I'm just going to make sure I keep adding to the pile because I haven't asked any of the sponsors to donate. I haven't asked anybody else to donate. This is all just Island Designs, myself, and HORMESIS, and Kyle's got something in there as well. We're gonna keep ramping this donation and gift stuff. I will be coming back from World Cup filled to the gills with booty that I jacked from all of our sponsors, and a lot of that stuff is going into that pile. So make sure
Pirates
you guys
booty.
Pirates booty. Come with the booty. Give me the booty. So just so everybody knows, again, David Reed, we will have tickets still available. Don't cry. You can spend your paycheck on Friday. The website will still be up. Please leave a little bit in there for your Spick and Span membership, and make sure you can play paintball on the weekend. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have this thing running until basically I'm to the end of the month. If it gets a little out of hand and we're getting too many things and I don't have enough gifts to make sure that you guys there's a robust amount of gifts to give out, then I will cap it. But for just full transparency, we're trying to raise as much money for charity as we possibly can.
There we go.
All right. So okay, we've got 2 signed Dynasty cards. Boom, Butte.
5 tickets.
There we go, TRG.
Butte.
And Chris and me. On mobile, I don't think that you can become a member on mobile. I'm not totally sure, but can you do it on here? Is this yours?
Yeah, but I'm
don't
pretty
think-
limited. I got
Yeah.
I
It doesn't.
got 23.
So are you on the?
I'm on the internet.
So you might have to be on the app, not on the app, but on like the web browser function. So Derek Weagle, shout out Derek Weagle, 20 tickets. Okay, so that's where all the tickets have gone. So thank you, shout out to you guys. You guys are the MVPs and the mans. I appreciate it. The mans. That doesn't make any sense. Shout out to that. Okay, let's go over to the wheel. We're gonna spin it 3 more times. All right. Do we have anything else that we want to give away?
Do you want to? Is your email on here? Someone was.
That email, Andy, is correct. That's where you can send the nudes, my man.
Ryan at RyanGreenspan.com.
Okay. All right. We're gonna give this giant tactical jersey away a little bit later. Also, where Field 1 is dropping some new shirts as well. This is a pocket tee. I like pocket tees a lot. I'm just really excited about that.
Is Meta? Does that have issue with Facebook just changing their name?
No, I think Facebook changed their name to Meta because of Meta, because Meta makes stuff for Facebook.
They do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
Meta
clothing?
makes clothing for Facebook. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a big.
I can see a buyout
I
happening
can
any
see
day now. Yeah.
That's big money there.
That's a big one. Yeah. It's true. All right, we're gonna jump over to the screen here. Also, remember, HORMESIS paintball.com is where you're gonna be able to find your raffle tickets. Okay, here we go. This is going for spinning it for twice for the signed Dynasty cards. This is not cutthroat. It's okay, everybody. We'll do some more cutthroat a little later. Eric. Oh, sorry, Bart Crahan. Bart is a big winner.
Here you go.
He also won.
Bart.
He won the grand prize the other week for William Painter. Got a pair of shades and a jersey. Bart Crahan coming up big.
Yeah.
And Austin Homonek. I think he's won before as well.
Yeah. Big contributor in the chat. See
There
you
we
in
go. Okay. Last but not least, this is for the HK Army jersey. This is donated from HK Army and San Diego Dynasty because I saw it in the box of stuff when we got our sponsorship stuff this weekend. And I said, I'm going to grab that for the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to go to Mike Arena. I'm sorry, dog. PQUE. I believe he is residing from Canada. Speaking of Canada, are all the Canadians going to be at practice next weekend?
Yep.
Is Zane coming? Assistant
No.
coach? No.
Zane and
Is Bart coming?
Bart's coming. Bart and Zach. JC just had a kid.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Maverick.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know JC had a girlfriend, let alone a wife or
Yeah.
a fiance or whatever. Congratulations
Yeah,
to that. I
baby
did
on
see
the
that.
way,
That
yeah.
was awesome,
So
dude.
JC, he's seeing if he. I think he's coming to the event still.
Yeah,
but-
buddy.
Brand new.
Yeah. Good. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to all of the new parents and expecting parents out there. I know a lot of you are in that time of your lives. We're just talking about Dynasty fan base. The fact that a lot of you who are 16-year-old fans of Dynasty back in 2001 are now fully in the workforce, like adult Dynasty fan base.
I mean, that was me.
Kids, and that was you. Well, you were like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't have a kid yet.
Yeah.
Right. So I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah.
Thunder does not play out of Sacramento. Thunder plays out of Seattle Thunder. So
I feel like I should be asking you like some scientific questions with those glasses on. You look like
hit me with it's a beaker.
Is the Earth flat or round?
And Darcy, you are right. We should do a wheel for just international player or fan base, because I know that the dollar does make it a little bit more expensive for you guys to support us, but it does also make it a little bit more expensive for us to ship winning stuff to you guys. Believe it or not, especially Canada gets you. 9 plus 9 plus 10 is 20. We've got you guys' answers every day here at the Spick and Span Show. Give me something a little tougher than that with these glasses on, all right? Thank you very much for tuning in. Get your charity support raffles at HORMESISPaintball.com. Check out all the list of the goodies. Shout out to Island Designs. Thank you for the hoodies, the shirts, all the stuff that we're donating that's coming here. Thank you, Sloan. Here she comes.
Should we give him one more of the... Or no?
I think that might scare this one.
Yeah.
Ah! Hey, Sloan. Ready? Hold on. Cover your ears. No, you're not touching that. Unfazed.
Go.
What do you want?
Go.
You want me to go again?
Yeah.
Okay. Cover your ears. One
Cover
more.
your ears.
One more. Cover your ears.
Cover your ears like this,
Sloan, cover your ears.
Good job.
Can you clap? Okay, we've got a
say
new
bye?
toy. Can you say bye?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, buddy.
Oh, don't touch that.
Oh.
Hold on.
Spick Span Show.
Ship falls away, night turns to day. Remember why? Fire consumes, ashes remain.
Cannot breathe, cannot see, cannot breathe. Cannot breathe, cannot see, cannot breathe. Cannot breathe. Cannot see. Cannot look in between. I cannot breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between. I cannot breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between.